Hey, how y'all doing? This is Mongo Slade, and this is my NXT report. All right, so up front, we're going to talk about two different things. We're going to do a little cleaning first. The first thing is that WWE announced their new performance center entrance today. It was mostly people who had already been under contract for a little while already. So they basically were evolved talents. So it was Kurt Stallion, Leon Ruff, Brandy Lauren, Josh Briggs, Anthony Green, Joe Gacy, and two-time NCAA All-American Jacob Casper. So Leon Ruff has been on TV pretty much all year already anyway, and he wrestled on NXT. So that was pretty much it. These guys are kind of official now, so that was pretty cool. And I figured, since they're going to be on NXT, you might as well bring them up first. Um, Leon Ruff, we'll get to Leon Ruff when we talk about him. Most of these people I've seen, but I haven't seen them that much. Like I've watched enough. I watched enough Evolve to know who these people are, but I'm not like, in depth with them. So everybody will be fairly new to me. So I enjoy looking at new faces. All right, so the second thing is this NXT episode was not good. It actually took a sharp, like a like a hockey shape, right after like a hockey stick, where it was like up and then it goes straight down, like right after the first match. But it started out really good. And there had some good elements to it. But this was not my favorite episode of NXT. It's not even my second or 35th favorite episode of NXT. This episode of NXT was a reset. Essentially, they was just basically setting up the future, pretty much, and that's fine. You could take a couple of weeks. You could take a week off to set up some stuff, but this episode was not good. So let's start off with the big match which should have been the main event, but whatever. Tommaso Ciampa versus Kushida. And this match was actually very good. They were both really aggressive. Kushida does a really good job targeting that arm. He did some really brutal shit to Tommaso Ciampa, like when he did the arm breaker over the turnbuckle. That was really dope. It was good. Tommaso Ciampa did his thing too. He held Kushida down a little bit. It was a little brutal. He dominated most of the match, if we're being honest. But the match was ended in disqualification because Velveteen Dream came in with a cast and tried to hit Kushida, ended up hitting Tommaso Ciampa instead, and got Kushida disqualified. And then Kushida just basically chased Velveteen Dream off. So it started out good. I told you, it started out great. The two guys who were working did a good job, but then it turned to shit almost immediately after that. In this match, I did notice that Kushida wears moon boots. I didn't really, I never noticed them before, but I noticed that Kushida likes to wear moon boots, so that's his thing. So the second thing was supposed to start the show. It was actually promoted to start the show, which was the Ember Moon promo, and my oh my, was it not good? I mean, her promo is like a left hook from a right-handed infant. It was that weak. I don't know why they let her talk. She needs not ever talk again. So she says she's been on the on the show for 14 months. Then she said she rode her bike for miles and miles until she found clarity. And the clarity is that she found Ember's Law, which is to not let people tell her what she can and can't do. And she challenged Io Shirai, who came out, okay. And then Rhea Ripley came out before Io Shirai ever said anything. And then Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez attacked Rhea Ripley from behind. And then, of course, William Regal set up the tag team match main event. Ember Moon and Rhea Ripley versus Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. And I promptly groaned. Because I was like, I don't want to see that in the main event. I wanted it is what it is. Okay, I guess, with Ember Moon making her big return, you kind of have to give her the big spot. I mean, I understand that. I appreciate that. She's a star for this brand. So, okay, I can accept it. I can take that L. But I really, really, really didn't need this match. I really didn't need it. And because it was pretty much a foregone conclusion, you really don't have a reason for people to stay tuned if that's going to be your main event. Because everybody knows goddamn Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai is not going to win, right? I mean, when the match was announced, did you think that they were going to win? No, right? So why announce that for your main event? It doesn't make sense to me. So then we get some foolishness with Drake Maverick and Killian Dane. I'm not interested in this. But then we get the Undisputed Era promo. And Adam Cole basically threatens Ridge Holland. We'll see that that's going to be an empty threat. I'm so sorry, Ridge Holland. But Kyle O'Reilly apologized for not getting the job done. You know, everybody pretty much forgave him. I wonder where that's going. And whatever they're going to have to do, they're going to speed that up because Ridge Holland probably won't be seeing him no time soon. All right, so Everrise, who sucks. They fucking suck. Everrise fucking sucks. And they wrestled Killian Dane and Drake Maverick. I almost wanted to change the channel when I saw this. I'm glad I held on, though. I'm glad I held on. The Killian Dane, Drake Maverick song is so stupid. It's hilarious. It is absolutely some of the stupidest shit in the world. And I know it's intentionally funny. But the match itself was nothing. It was stupid. Everrise sucks. Did I say Everrise sucks already? Okay. And then the song started playing again after Drake Maverick and Killian Dane wins. And then Drake Maverick creates this annoying dance. It's this annoying strut that he's come up with. And I could not hold it together. I was like, this is so incredibly dumb. He won. I'm like, okay. I laughed. I wasn't supposed to, I wanted to hate this so much. And I do hate it. Because I think Killian Dane should be doing so much more. You know, Killian Dane could be a big deal. Like, he's a big dude, hairy, ugly, could be a decent, mid to upper mid card heel, throwing guys into Titantrons and, beating guys with chairs and kendo sticks. All the tough guys have to be so skinny and small now. Killian Dane is like a big, ugly Irish dude. He should be really wrecking shop. And, but he's teamed up with Drake Maverick, and Drake Maverick's doing silly dances. And then he punches Drake Maverick out because Drake Maverick is being a dork. And he didn't want to be Drake Maverick's partner. And he's told Drake Maverick more than once that he didn't want to be his partner. Look, I don't like this because it's too comedic. We have too many comedy tag teams already, and we already have like 3. Because Everrise is essentially a comedy tag team too. We need some real tag teams in NXT. Comedy tag teams, the novelty wears off after a while. Like Fandango and Tyler Breeze, I fucking hate them now. They've been doing the same gimmick like 5 years. I fucking hate them now. And I used to love them. But I feel like they've just been hamsters on a wheel. They've just been doing the same shit for months and months and months and years now. I'm tired of them. They need to go away. So then we get a short vignette about Toni Storm, who says this is the longest layoff she's ever had, and she's been wrestling since she was 13. But the interesting thing here is she says that 2 years ago, she was kind of riding high. She won the Mae Young Classic where she beat Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai. And then she said that, she was the first ever NXT UK. No, she was the second NXT UK Women's Champion. I believe she actually beat Rhea Ripley for the belt too. And then, 2 years later, she lost to Kaylee Ray, and now she hasn't been on TV. So she's, been building herself up to make this comeback. And I saw her running on the beach. And I was like, I think she had a shirt tied around her waist. I still saw that ass. Anyway. So the next scene was the LeRays. They were walking their dog, and Johnny was complaining. Well, they were both complaining about the way they lost, and that they deserve rematches and a need for a change. So they get back to the house, and they get a new TV. There's a new TV there, and then the TV is from Indy Hartwell. And Indy Hartwell is really undercard. I don't know if she was even a heel or a babyface. She was just kind of jobberish when she was on TV. But Indy Hartwell brought them to TV, brought Johnny Gargano a new TV. So a little bit later, but I'm gonna tell the whole story here since I'm on the subject. Uh, Johnny is watching the TV, and apparently the TV is tuned in, or I don't know how the TV has a replay of the Battle Royal where it shows that Indy Hartwell actually helped Candice LeRae in the Battle Royal, and now the Garganos, the LeRaes. I started calling them the LeRaes, but whatever. But now they both are kind of interested in Indy Hartwell. She bought Johnny a new TV. She helped Candice survive that and win that Battle Royal. So now they're like, we kind of like Indy Hartwell. So I guess what they're about to do is like take her up as as a as a student, as a protege. Which I mean, I guess that'd be cool. That's a cool spot for Indy Hartwell, I guess. It'd give Candice LeRae something to do. Maybe give her a tag team partner. That'd be pretty cool. Almost everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, it's a threesome." Well, that's kind of how it is, man. People can't get their mind out of the gutter. But I'm always cool with doing different things with different people. Indy Hartwell's been on the roster for a long time. It's good, and I always wanted to see somebody do a protege storyline. I'm gonna say this here. I really wanted somebody to do it with like Mickie James, where like Mickie James brings up like Santana Garrett or something like that. And then Mickie James was just really annoying about how good her protege is. And then when the protege eventually turns on her, is like, Mickie, I got 10 years experience. Like something like that would have been really great and really fun. I need to get the book, man. Some of my ideas are really bad, so I don't need the book. I just have like one good idea every couple of weeks. So the next match was Austin Theory versus Leon Ruff. Leon Ruff his body is just not developed. He looks like Snoop Dogg in 1992, but he's very athletic and he's very agile, and he showed off that stuff here. The match was probably about 3 or 4 minutes. It wasn't long, but Leon Ruff got to really show off how good he can move, and it was really impressive. Austin Theory wins with a really complicated finish. These guys need to chill with these complicated whoop-de-doo finishes. Get a cool finish and just leave it at that. Any finish that involves you throwing a guy up in the air and spinning them around on your finger and then slamming them is just ridiculous. So Austin Theory, after he wins, he's full of himself. Says that when Adam Cole beat him the previous week, he was challenged to this match with Adam Cole, so he wasn't prepared, and that he beat Leon Ruff really fast because he was prepared. So he was saying like, hey, now that I'm warmed up, I can beat anybody. So then out comes Dexter Lumis. And now him and Dexter Lumis have a match. I have no idea why they need to have a match. I have no idea why the match needed to be as long as it was. But this match, Dexter Lumis versus Austin Theory, was entirely too long. It was entirely too long. It was all right, I guess. I really kind of lost interest, if we're being honest. I really didn't care because I kind of knew Dexter Lumis was going to win. So I really was just kind of like, whatever. I don't care. And then immediately after the match ended, here comes Cameron Grimes, which is somebody else I don't like. And he double stomped Dexter Lumis because he's mad at Dexter Lumis because Dexter Lumis didn't answer a question. Like, that's the stupidest reason in the world to attack somebody after a match. I don't like that you didn't answer my question. Going to the moon. Stupid. This is stupid. This match was entirely too long. Entirely too long. So then we learned that Finn broke his jaw in 2 places. Them boys were going hard, man. And he broke his jaw twice. Man, he went Mick Foley hard. When you break your jaw twice in one match, you went too hard. Damian Priest wants to know who his next opponent is. Nobody challenged him. Nobody stepped up. Nobody was even mentioned, I don't think. At this point, man, I was kind of like out of it because I was like, NXT's been on, probably about an hour and a half at this point, and I was just kind of like, man, nothing is happening on this show that's interesting. So then something interesting actually did happen. Ridge Holland, who beat up Adam Cole, was on his way to getting a huge push. has a match with Danny Burch. Danny Burch is a good opponent for Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland is a big dude, thick in the body. He can take, Burch chopping him hard, hitting him pretty hard, suplexing him and stuff, which is pretty much what happened. But the match was pretty fast, and Ridge Holland actually won the match. So Ridge Holland goes to get his little paperboy hat. He puts it back on. He goes to walk away. I guess, maybe Danny Burch wanted to shake his hand or something. I'm kind of iffy on that. And then he turns to walk away, and Burch turned him around and slapped him. Just slapped the shit out of him like he was a little boy. And, of course, Ridge Holland, being the thick, muscular man that he is, beat the hell out of Danny Burch. And just beat the shit out of him. And then out comes 198-pound Oney Lorcan, who fights like he's 9 foot tall. That's the good thing about, Oney Lorcan and Ilya Dragunov. Like, they're skinny and short, but they fight like they're 9 feet tall. Like, they fight like bears. So here comes Oney Lorcan, and he's he's trying to push Ridge Holland's shit in. He's really trying. He's really trying to like tear him apart. And Ridge Holland is fighting them back. So it looks good. They were doing a little good brawl. They kept breaking up, and they kept coming back towards each other, and it was good. And then Oney Lorcan did a slingshot over the top rope, and Ridge Holland caught him and promptly blew out his knee. I literally cringed. I looked at that shit and was like, he's going to be out for a while because he collapsed. And then, of course, Oney Lorcan continued to hit him, even because, of course, he didn't know how bad he was hurt. And then, the refs kind of pulled Oney Lorcan off of him. And then we had to take a minute to situate ourselves, and we watched some replays about how 112-pound Oney Lorcan fell on this man's knee and destroyed it. Absolutely buckled him. He folded like a lawn chair. And all of a sudden, we got this big guy, Ridge Holland, who was on his way to getting a big main event push, seemed to be over. It's probably over. And I don't know what it was. I did not check the internets, and I'm not going to. Was it an MCL tear? Was it a... But if he couldn't stand up and walk out, if he needed to get a stretch it out. It's not good. That's not good. That's a guaranteed L, baby. That's a good 6 months. And look, man, when you a big dude and them knees start going, that's a rough one. When the knees go out, that's rough. So we got a cool Thatcher Thatch Can vignette. Timothy Thatcher has been losing a lot, so he's frustrated, and he's talking about how life is gonna ground you down. And I'm really glad that that they're working with Thatcher's ugliness, like him being deformed with like the missing teeth and stuff like that. It's really good that they're working with that. They're not trying to pretty him up. They're not trying to make him get fake teeth or nothing like that. They're just saying, oh shit, you got like 4 teeth missing? Okay, cool. Go out there with that ugly mug, and like 4 teeth missing, and cut these promos that are like visceral, like life is gonna ground you down like an old Marine or something like that, like like an old football coach. And he kind of had he was talking to his students, which we didn't see, but he's also talking to himself. And he's saying, I won't let it happen to me. I won't let it happen to me. So I'm really kind of thinking like where they're going to go with Thatcher. Thatcher's already been beaten by Priest. He's already been beaten by, Finn Balor. I don't know what you do with him at this point. But he's in an interesting spot. He's still doing interesting stuff. So maybe they draft somebody for him to tag team with, Drew Gulak. And that ought to be fun. So then the next match was Shotzi Blackheart versus Xia Li. Xia Li is okay. She's in a weird position where they really don't do anything with her, but they actually did something with her in this match. So Shotzi Blackheart, being the ball of energy that she is, she's basically NXT's mascot now. Like Shotzi Blackheart, they do not reserve her at all. She's on every show. I think she's been on just about every show since she debuted. She gets a lot of time too. And, she's had like a 20-minute match with like Io Shirai. She had like a 20-minute match with Candice LeRae. I mean, she gets time. Like really, and now that she's the host of Halloween Havoc, which I completely forgot. I forgot she was the host. I thought she was going to be on the show, but she's the host, the hostess, we should say. But she's basically like the mascot of NXT now. And I don't know why she unzips her forehead. Like, can somebody explain to me why she unzips her forehead? I have no idea why she does that. In any event, they had a pretty short match where she took Xia Li by surprise, and then Xia Li, got a little comeback in before taking the loss. And then Boa comes out. Boa has been on the roster for like 2 or 3 years. He has never done anything on NXT. He's only wrestled jobber matches. And Boa comes out. He looks like an assassin, and he gives Xia Li this note, and it's apparently in Mandarin. And she looks at the note, and she's kind of frustrated because she's lost. They've been building this frustration with her over the last couple of weeks anyway, with her losing to Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter. So they got a guy in a suit, and maybe we're gonna turn Xia Li and Boa into like Chinese nationals, because they're both Chinese. And now we're just gonna group them together. We group like objects, like in math. Like group like objects. All the Mexicans go together. All the Chinese people go together. You know what? If it works, I don't care. If it works, I don't care. So I'm interested in what they're gonna do, because when you do things with people who haven't been on TV, then it's fresh. These people have been there the whole time, but I'm guessing NXT is bracing to lose a lot of people. They're probably bracing to lose some stuff, because they're starting to use like Boa and Indy Hartwell, so they kind of like, we're about to lose some people. But it ought to be interesting. I just don't know where Shotzi Blackheart, like, what is her trajectory? Like, she's not wrestling for the title, so she's gonna host this Halloween Havoc show, and then what? Like, is she ever? I don't think she wrestled for the tag team titles once or twice with like Tegan Knox before she blew out her knee. This is blowing out the knees, baby. In the main event, Rhea Ripley and Ember Moon beat Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, and it was absolutely no question. Ember Moon was wearing a tail, and I think she's doing a Kitsune gimmick. Kitsune is the Japanese fox. Either that or it's like a cat gimmick. They changed her theme music, which I'm pretty sure disappointed a lot of people, because Ember Moon's original theme was pretty cool. I know she was trying to be a werewolf before, and I'm thinking that's why she's kind of pivoted from werewolf to kitten. Is that a kitten's tail she was wearing, or a dog's tail? I'm pretty sure it was a dog's tail, maybe a fox tail. But a kitsune is a Japanese spirit fox. I'm an anime and cartoon guy. Kitsune is also a character from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I just know this stuff. I'm a comic book dude. And it was okay. Physically she could do her stuff. I was kind of worried about her legs. I was looking at her legs as she did all of the stuff that she usually do, but her stuff looked good. It was no problem. The match went exactly as you think it would. Raquel Gonzalez broke out a pretty cool submission hold on Rhea Ripley. Of course, it did nothing. And Ember Moon went over with the Eclipse, which I think is the move that keeps tearing her legs up. And I wish she would stop doing it. And I think that we need to have a discussion about people need to pick appropriate finishers. You need to pick an appropriate finisher. We know that everybody that I've seen do the torture rack as a finish, by the way, has neck problems. Lex Luger, Nikki Bella. There was other people who had neck problems from doing the torture rack. We know Hulk Hogan did 500 fucking leg drops. Now he's replaced his hip I don't know how many times. You gotta pick an appropriate finish. She's jumping from the top rope and landing on her ass, which is ample, okay? But she's also running the risk of tearing up her legs. And I'm thinking that this is what actually is fucking her legs up. And I think she's had like a couple of knee surgeries already. So we might need a petition to tell Ember Moon to get a new finish. Like, she got flashy offense. And her flashy offense and is really high flying and smooth. It's good. She doesn't need to go overboard with the Eclipse. She probably needs to stop doing it. And I know that's probably for a lot of people, they're going to be like, no, she has to do the one move. Like, no, you have to think about the longevity of your career. Stop doing the fucking move that keeps injuring your legs. Stop doing it. Because if you fall wrong, you tear your goddamn legs up. Stop. Stop doing it. That should have been the first problem. You should have looked and said, oh my God, if you fall wrong on this eclipse, you could blow your ACL or something. Probably shouldn't do it for a finish. At least not do it all the time. Get a secondary finish just in case. Get a secondary finish just in case. All right. So this NXT was absolute trash. It was trash. Hopefully they need to try again next week. So they're probably going to get ravaged in the draft. So you talk about NXT now, they have to take some chances. Ridge Holland is hurt. And Finn Balor is hurt. He's not going to be around for a while. They need to rehab some guys. There are some people on this roster that have been, like Timothy Thatcher, that have been beaten and beaten and beaten. They need to be rehabbed. You also need new talent. You need fresh blood. And you also need to use some of the people you have that you just have not been focusing on. You might have to put some renewed effort towards some guys who have been shit on before, like the 205 Live crew. Like you might need to bring Brian Kendrick in. Might need to bring in Tony Nese. You might need to actually use them. You might need to snab, if you can snab another guy or two from Raw or SmackDown. Some guy who, maybe is in the draft and he needs something else. If you can get a Cesaro or something like that, great. If you can just get like a Shorty G, great. But you need like somebody, because Holland was positioned for a big spot. He's gone. Okay, unless it looked worse than it was, he's gone. So they need somebody fast to put in that spot. And, maybe you could do Kyle O'Reilly again. Maybe you could do somebody else. But you got to fix some of these problems. NXT is in a rebuilding stage, which is fine. Because, like I said, you always got to go through these rebuilding stages. They've lost a lot of people. NXT has lost Mercedes Martinez, Mia Yim, Keith Lee, Donovan Dijakovic, and probably will lose more people. Tegan Knox, Finn Balor, Ridge Holland, and who knows how many other people they're going to pull and lose during the draft. They've lost a lot of talent in NXT. And you gotta go on. You can't mourn forever. Tomorrow is a new day. Next week, NXT needs to be better. Be a better show. Use the talent that you have more efficiently and more effectively. If you need to bring in some people from NXT UK, you need to get a private plane, because you can't go whatever rise and think that, because even the 600, 700,000 people who watch the show are gonna vamp if that's going to be the case. If you're going to sit here and make people watch Dexter Lumis for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, they're going to vamp. Okay? I'm one of the biggest NXT supporters in the world, and I hated this episode of NXT. It just was not anything interesting on it. Just was nothing interesting. Debut some of these people that you just brought in. Maybe that can help. But thank you guys for listening. What did you guys think of the episode of NXT? Let me know in the comment section below. Like this video, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.